Alright, it took some doing, but we are loaded into Infernal Shrines, Heroes of the Storm, Chair League, Giant Dog on the screen, and on the side of TAW, we have Fireblade on Tyrande, Gyru on Zool, Hoax on ETC, Stony on Uther, and Torvun on Kerrigan. And against them, for Bringers of the Storm,
10 seconds.
we don't see the other team. That's really bad. Alright, let's see how we can fix that. This has been a disaster. This may be a one-sided cast. Oh, heavens. Well, until we get everything going, we're going to be following TAW here on the side of Shrines. Looks like they're going to be starting as a 5-man ball, just trying to scoop up an early takedown as best as they can find it. Trying to get out Tassadar. He's gonna pop his shield, get safely back out of harm's way, and no real desire to do any laning on either team. We see Falstad head towards the bottom to start soaking experience. He's going to be the only one there uncontested for a bit. Tomato split into a team of 3 and 2. Kerrigan looking to take a whole bunch of damage. She's going to get back to her towers, but not enough to avoid Illidan. And it's going to take Kerrigan a bit of time to get going, and we're not quite there yet. So hopefully we'll see her rise to the occasion as the game goes on. So a minute in, a bit of an experience lead from the side of Bringers of the Storm, probably from that takedown, probably from that early advantage laning with Falstad in the bottom. And fortunately, we get to see all the heroes on the board. I was afraid we weren't going to get that, but looks like everything's under control now. First Shrine's going to be at the top, spawning in about 10 seconds. Nothing too crazy happening on the board yet. Both teams still trying to glom up all the experience they can before the Shrine activates, and as it's active, nobody making a strong move yet to go take it. We see the players just now start to rotate up there. Right now, Illidan, the only one in there doing damage, scooping up some of the minions. He's gonna take a root to the face, a lot of damage behind him, and there's that big stun potential from TAW we saw earlier, and Illidan is just removed from play. And this seems to be how Tomato is gonna operate, just one hero at a time. 4 on 3 on the side of Tomato at the Shrine. Kerrigan chasing away a Sylvanas from mid down to bottom to make the experience exchange just a bit more even. Falstad in a bit of a bad spot, getting rooted somehow in a flying bird from roots from the ground. A lot of damage coming out on the side of TAW, but nothing fatal yet. Illidan's back in the fray, and he's looking to avenge his death. But instead, he's going to get stunned, taking a bunch of damage, but he's going to manage to power through, get Zool, and I don't think he's done yet. Fireblade at real low health, and Tyrande will fall. So after getting a 21 to about 10 lead on the minions, Tomato is forced to retreat, and if nothing drastic happens, it looks like the first Punisher is going to go to the side of Bringers of the Storm. This is kind of a scary spot for TAW. They're a full level down now, and they're about to be staring into the bright, burning eyes of a Mortar Punisher. Zool and Kerrigan trying as best as they can to glom up some experience, try and catch back up, because they know that this lead, if left unchecked, is only going to grow bigger as there's going to be some significant structure damage on the side of TAW. ETC charging in, looking to get a couple members of Bringers of the Storm out of position. Illidan just going ham, trying to do what Illidan does best. Tyrande at very low health. Looks like she's going to escape. Kerrigan in a pretty dire situation too, but so far everyone's standing. Scratch that. Kerrigan is taken out by a combination of the Punisher and the might and fury of Bringers of the Storm. ETC manages to get away, sliding to safety, and It looks like this Punisher is going to reward Bringers of the Storm with the first fort of the game. And so while all that was going on, Falstad was not present at the Immortal. He didn't feel like he had a whole lot to contribute, and was just scooping up experience, knocking down buildings, increasing Bringers of the Storm's lead from 1 level to almost 2 now. This is not, I mean, this isn't by any means the game, right? I mean, we've all seen games where a team has a disadvantage, even a strong one, and one good engagement, one good team fight, and this could all turn around in an instant. So there's plenty of game left to go, but no question the early advantage is in the hands of Bringers of the Storm. A lot of pressure coming from the bottom. 3v2 reinforcements here to even the exchange. And seeing that, Bringers of the Storm says, you know what? We're not interested in fair fights. We're interested in the unfair fights. We're interested in taking away heroes that don't have defense. We're interested in outnumbering you. We don't want to give you a chance to equalize, especially when the next shrine should be coming up here fairly soon. Elsewhere on the map, we see the split push between Illidan in the top and Falstad in the bottom, as 10s should be arriving imminently for Bringers of the Storm. Shrine's going to be active in mid, up in about 10 seconds. Meanwhile, a top camp is pushing, but there's not a whole lot of support with it. This is a very courageous move from Illidan. And the entire team of Bringers of the Storm just getting the advanced camp on the side of TAW. They didn't have vision on it. They could have maybe guessed, but they can't really know that's where they're going to be. And now TAW's going to have to deal with that camp and possibly just completely surrender this Punisher. They're still down a level. They don't have their heroics just yet, so taking an engagement isn't going to be something that they're going to be in a good position to do. They may be better off trying to just scoop up some experience as best as they can, maybe get a takedown, but Illidan's gonna nimbly dodge the sweeping grab from Kerrigan. Up to 30 on the count for minions for Bringers of the Storm. Looks like it is gonna go uncontested. The Punisher is gonna be barreling in on the mid lane here. So fortunately for TAW, they have their heroics. Top is cleared, so Zul should be present for this fight, so they should be at relatively full power to deal with this Punisher and the combined force of Bringers of the Storm. No huge action yet. Trying to chip in some damage as best as they can. Punisher's leaping in, going ham on Kerrigan. The mid fort has fallen. Punisher's at about half health, so we're not expecting a giant amount of damage to follow up. This Starfall is going to help zone out members of the Bringers of the Storm. Punisher's going to fall, but no follow-up engagement available as ETC gets stuck by some very sticky ice. So good job from TAW. They didn't try anything super risky, but this might be a bit risky. Party Bush set up for Bringers of the Storm. They collapse in on TAW. A lot of damage coming down on Kerrigan. Pops Maelstrom. Is she going to survive? Divine Shield's going to help that. Damage keeps coming out, and that's going to keep Kerrigan standing for just a few more moments. Most members of TAW are low, but a nice mosh pit's going to get Falstad out of there. Oh no, he manages to save himself. Instead, Kerrigan, ETC, and Zul falling, with Uther not far behind. So that mosh could have turned it around if they could have, TAW could have gotten just a couple takedowns, maybe caught a couple people in the mosh pit dance party. They at worst might have been able to equalize that, but as of so, just not enough value from those abilities. And I'm wondering if that's just a side effect of the lack of damage, the relative lack of damage from TAW. They're certainly able to keep to crowd control the bejesus out of Bringers of the Storm. select a hero, and like just there we saw on Tassadar, just keep them glued in place for multiple seconds. But other than a follow-up of more crowd control, they don't seem to have the immediate damage to team fights. But they do manage to start bringing it back. They get a takedown on Tassadar, they got the takedown on Illidan, so it's not all storm clouds and sad faces. TAW might be just hitting their stride here. The temporary 5-on-4 advantage, looking to do some damage on this mid-structure. Shrine is active in the bottom. It should be an arcane. Illidan going in on Kerrigan. The roots going to stop that, but the ultimate pops to re-engage Illidan. But looks like TAW is comfortable just licking their wounds, tapping fountains, hearthing if need be, and hopefully re-engaging on this shrine, because they can't afford to lose a whole lot more. They're down 3 structures to 6, with the mid keep already gone. And here comes the engagement train with ETC leading the pack, chasing Falstad. Mosh Pit appears to be up, so we should see that as the first good opportunity. But so far, Bringers to the Storm content to throw in some attacks every now and then, try and glom up a couple minions. No huge engagement. A big mosh pit coming out from ETC. A nice gust from Falstad to deny that. Wheelie's gonna fall, but as will Uther. Kerrigan's extremely low. She's gonna be in a bad shape, but a nice assimilation shield's gonna keep her up. And it looks like the tide of battle is shifting to the side of TAW. Those crowd control moves do tend to scale better late game. There's a lot more as your team gains damage, being able to turn off enemy heroes for a while. Certainly do have an impact on the board. And they've almost secured the arcane Punisher. Kerrigan, or Zul rather, looks like she's gonna fall, and the first Punisher of the game goes to the side of TAW. ETC is gonna try to get away from this. Falstad and Illidan pursuing, but not quite gonna do it. And for the first time in this match, TAW can breathe a breath of fresh air. They have some time to, while this Punisher is going. It's not gonna do a colossal amount of damage. It might get some punches in on the fort, but the fort shouldn't fall here. But more importantly, they have time on the map to go do whatever they want. They can push back lanes. They're going to have a continuing problem here in mid with catapults coming in. So that's going to be a concern for them for the rest of the match, until they can at least equalize in mid or get some catapults in a different lane. And it looks like that's what they're doing. They're trying to just buy themselves some more time in mid to keep that from becoming an immediate problem. So a quick shout out to all the people I queue with in Hero League. Just because your level's down doesn't mean you can't win a team fight. The game is not over by any means. Play until the final bell, because the only game you've lost is the one you've stopped playing. And I'll get off my soapbox. Bringers of the Storm heading in to take that advanced bruiser camp on the side of TAW. They have been discovered. Owl coming in to find them, but not nearly in time. TAW a bit too far away to do anything with that knowledge. And this could be a very strong timing from Bringers. If the shrine spawns pretty soon, they can establish a good position while TAW is forced to deal with this camp and the continuing pressure in mid. But no shrine, so it looks like Bringers are just going to settle for using this camp to deal a significant amount of damage. TAW setting up the classic Star Cave concave wraparound. ETC coming in to grab a couple stuns, a nice Divine Shield to keep that mosh pit dance party going. Maelstrom popped, Wailing Arrow out. Tehran's going to fall inside of TAW. It's a 5v4, back to a 4v4 after Lily's taken down. Huge violence, a lot of damage. Tassadar doing an excellent job with those Psionic Storms, and ETC is going to be the lone survivor on the side of TAW. And Bringers of the Storm are posturing for game here. They're coming in to take out to take out the core. This might be a bit ambitious. They don't have Lily there anymore to keep health pools up, but it looks like with what they have, they are going to be able to take out the enemy core. And Bringers of the Storm look like they will take this match on Infernal Shrines on Friday night in Chair League.
Red team is victorious.
That is, I think Infernal Shrines might be my favorite map for this very reason. There's always something going on. There's always like high impact objectives. There's a lot going on in the map, because we saw that after getting an early takedown and an experience lead, Bringers of the Storm were able to grab those first couple punishers and really have a high impact on the board. Getting that early keep just kept TAW glued. I mean, they could never really leave for long. They always had to address the problem of having that wave pushed out long enough to go do something else on the map. Well, just when you thought it was lights out, TAW managed to win a crucial team fight, getting a nice takedown count against Bringers of the Storm. They got an Arcane Punisher on bottom with relatively decent position, but and I don't know if it was the damage, but they did take a bit of time ratcheting up the minion count, and that allowed Bringers of the Storm to respawn. And between that and the fact that they had to keep responding to the pressure in mid from the catapults, they really just couldn't find their footing. They couldn't catch their breath. And if those early engagements hadn't shifted against them, if they'd managed to retain their keep, that could have been a long, deep game into the end. Because I think they were hitting their stride, and I think they were possibly able to mount a comeback there. So well played from both teams. It was certainly an exciting match. I'm sorry for the technical problems at the beginning of the game, but we got there. But unfortunately, there is only one W, and today that W goes to the red team, Bringers of the Storm. So congratulations, guys, on a match well played, and I'll see y'all on the Nexus. Take care.